One of the things that you write about is your dad's war service.
Yes.
You know, plane went down. You talk about the team that came in to sort of keep him from falling into the hands of the Japanese. When you look at the makeup of the Senate or the makeup of, you know, those making decisions now, very few folks with military experience. The good news is that's because we haven't had you know, a service that required everyone to come in.
Right.
But do you think it makes a difference in decision making if someone has experience in the military?
Well, first of all, I think that when you make decisions about war and peace, you're listening to people who are in the military. And so one of the real questions for qualifications, I think, for a good leader is somebody who can determine, you know, to take advice and to figure out how that advice fits into an overall strategy. And so you have to be in the military to have done that? Not necessarily.
And you also wrote that your dad felt so deeply and continues to feel so deeply about the crewmen that he lost on that day.
Yeah.
Do you feel similarly when you talk about Iraq? Did he feel similarly when he talked about those that died in the invasion into Kuwait?
You know, my heart aches for people who's lost a loved one, still does. And to that end, I try to help our wounded vets as much as I can at the Bush Library there at SMU. His, of course, was even more personal because Delaney and White were not only his crewmates but friends. He lived, they didn't, and so it's a much more, in some ways, much more emotional for him. And you're right, to this day he still thinks about it. And when Jenna on his 90th birthday interviewed him, competition for you, by the way.
Yeah, before me, I would say.
Interviewed him. She asked, is he still thinking about him? He said, all the time. I thought it was a very interesting answer.
It is. It is. What does your dad think of the book?
I think he likes it. He doesn't comment on it. Mother.
I mean, he hasn't told you what he thought of the book?
He said he liked it, but no, not really. Mother has, of course.
And she said?
She said, change this part, will you? That she saw the rough draft. No, she liked it a lot. She really did. I think she thinks it's it captured him, which is what she's most interested in. Does it really capture George Bush the way she knows him? And I think she thinks it did. And anyway, she was an important test to pass.
Yes. Probably the test to pass,
Yeah.
right? Sounds like he's a little easier going on you than in some ways.
Yeah, it's hard for me to describe what he's like these days because you know him as an energetic, kind of engaged person.
How is he now?
How is he? He's good. You know, he's joyful, and he doesn't complain. He is on the other hand, he doesn't reflect a lot. He is when the grandkids are around, he's playful and says he loves them, and you know and. But he's just not that reflective. He may be reflective, just not talking about how reflective he is.
Right, which is in character with the man that you describe in the book.
It is in many ways, but you know, even less so today than in the past.
In terms of what you wanted to accomplish with this book,
Yeah.
are you satisfied that he's gotten whatever message you intended for him to get?
Yes, I do. I think a lot of his friends have read it and said, you know, George has written a wonderful, wonderful story about you, and it's true. Yeah, I think so. I think people are, you know, and more importantly, what I was trying to get across was not only to say I love you to him, but he knows that, was just tell people around the country what a unique person he was and how fortunate we were to have him as president. I mean, this guy's unbelievable when you think about it. The fact that he and Clinton are friends, for example. The fact he never won his own home state, and yet ends up until he beat Dukakis in '88. I mean, it's the fact he lost a child early in a marriage, and the marriage is one of the unique, great love stories in American political history.
How many years married? 70?
Well, let's see, I'm 68. It's
So
more
not
than
quite.
68, yeah.
I think it's 70.
I think it is, yeah.
You want to go over and look
Let's
at this
do it,
one?
yeah.
So tell me what you get out of painting.
The idea of I'm driven to be as good as I can be, you know, and is a task-oriented person, and every painting is a task in a sense. I get excitement out of painting because I'm beginning to learn. When I first started painting, I was like, you know, kind of trying to be like a Polaroid camera.
Right. Get it exactly right.
Yeah.
Instead of the feel.
Instead of the feel. And I'm learning and how to work colors to get to a bit different feel. And you know, I don't know what I'd be doing. I don't drink anymore. I guess if I were a drinker, you know, I'd be up there at night drinking away, but now I'm painting away.
So that's probably a better hobby.
I would think it would be a little more constructive.
Right. You painted your dad in this book.
I did, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I did.
And
it's in the book. Yeah, I think it's nice. Mother kind of wasn't, yeah, I know, but you know.
you can't please mom all
Never
the time.
paint your wife or your mother.
Oh, have you painted your wife?
Yes.
She didn't like it.
Well, she said, no. And neither did my daughter, so I just scrapped it.
Really?
Yeah, I kind of chunked it.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm not going to, the
Show it to
painting,
anybody.
yeah. I may have saved it, although they probably think I destroyed it.
So we won't, that's between you and me, as
Yeah,
someone famously
don't
said?
tell anybody. Anyway, so Mother called and said, here, you're a painter. I said, yeah. She said, paint my dogs. Okay. So I painted her dogs, and it was fun to paint something for somebody you care about. And so I painted a dog for her. Then I painted a garden scene for her, and I painted some other things for her, and she likes it and appreciates it.
Now they're playing in your park. This is your vintage, right? Not quite your plane.
Dad.
Dad, I'm sorry.
He flew this is a fighter, and his was more of a bomber, torpedo bomber.
Right, right.
You know what's amazing about him is I can think back when I was 19. I put in the book, you know, they grew up a lot faster than we did. That's for sure in
Isn't
my
that
case.
true? Yes.
And but imagine being 19, floating off the coast of a Japanese island, and
By yourself.
yeah, wondering
What
when they're
happened
gonna
next.
when they're gonna live.
Yeah, yeah. It's an amazing story. You can't.
But you know, here's the thing about it, it's interesting, Candy, is that it's not the only story of World War II. There's thousands of stories that way. And not to be on a high horse here, I think the word hero is overused. And I think the World War II generation guys have handled it well. They said we weren't heroes, we did what we were asked to do. And now everybody's a hero at some point in time, and they're not. Living life the way it's supposed to be lived is not heroic.
Right. That's what you're supposed to be doing, which is sort of how your father.
That's exactly the reason. But it wasn't just him, there's a lot of people his age.